Do you ever feel like you're drowning in low-value items that just won't move? You list them, you relist them, you relist them again, and they still sit there, taking up space, taking up time, costing you money. Today I'm going to show you one of the simplest tricks that can clear that death pile fast and help you make better money doing it. This works for eBay, Facebook, Marketplace, even car boots. It's one of the best tips I've ever used. So what is this hack? It's grouping. Job lots. In today's video, I'm going to share my tips on how to group items, what items should be grouped, and how to price a group. But before I begin, let me introduce myself. My name is Walter O'Neill, and if you're wondering if I know what I'm talking about, I'm the founder of antiquesarena.com, a massive website and a YouTube channel with millions of views. I've been in the business for about 30 years, or close on 30 years, and I have seen and done pretty much everything. From sleeping in the back of my car, working 3-day antique fairs, to spending all day at auction for one lot. Why not use my experience to learn the tips in a fraction of the time it took me? So let's jump into today's video and see if I can help you move some of that death pile and make a little bit of money. What is grouping? In simple terms, grouping is just throwing a load of items together to make a larger lot. But it's not as simple as it sounds in reality. If you mix too much crap or low-end items, then the lot will never sell. Put in too much good stuff, you're throwing away good profits. The mix has to be just right. I'm going to give you some examples in a moment, and at the end of the video I'm going to share with you some real-life examples of grouping that I actually do on my own website. Some have sold, some are still up for sale, but you'll see them all, and there are many more on antiquesarena.com if you want to go and view them. So there are some best practices to follow when putting together job lots. First off, try to group similar items. That alone can give you a better price. A box that's all the same kind of thing just looks more appealing than a random mix. Here's an example of what I'd call a poor job lot. So you mix a pile of artwork with a load of ceramics, or throw in Pokemon cards in with a box of glass. The buyer for those things ain't even on the same planet. You might get away with mixing glass and ceramics, maybe, but even then, try to keep it tight. So stick to similar items when you can. This just makes the listing look cleaner, more professional, and you're far more likely to attract the right kind of buyer. So title ideas, if you're listing job lots, use strong keywords in your title to help the listing show up in searches. For example, 10 vintage brooches, job lot. Same designers if possible, or random mixed jewellery. If you get designers, chuck the designer in the title as well. Here's what that would look like. So let's say you've got a bunch of items that aren't really worth listing on their own. For example, let's say you've got 10 brooches, 8 at average, worth £2 to £3 each. And 2 are pretty nice, maybe worth £10 to £15 each. Now, instead of listing 10 separate items, taking 10 set of photos, writing 10 descriptions, answering 10 messages, packing 10 items, paying postage for 10 parcels, and making 10 entries in your accounts. Look how much work that is, just doing that. You group them and boom. One listing, one buyer, one parcel, and one potentially better return. In addition to that, odds are, the 8 brooches that were worth £1 or £2, odds are they're never ever going to sell, or if they sell, they're going to take years to sell. But now, the 2 stronger brooches or items in the job lot will carry the weaker items. Somebody may buy the whole job lot just for 1 or 2 items, doesn't matter. More pros to consider are, it's bigger sales, higher value sales tend to attract better quality buyers. The time saving is huge. You're doing the work of 10 items in one. So effectively, you're wasting 1/10, or you're using 1/10 of the time it would take to list them all individually. And let's be honest, time is money, and none of us ever got enough time. So if they're not standalone items, why wouldn't you job lot them? All right, we're going to look at a real life example, right? For this example, let's just say I've got 10 brooches, right? Here's the breakdown. 8 were okay, worth £2 each, £2 to £3 each. 2 were better, worth about £10 to £15. If I sold them one at a time, best case scenario, I would make £45. 8 to £2.5 is £20. 2 at £12.50, Done them as an average, 25 quid. Total £45. But that means 10 listings, 10 parcels, etc., as we've already said. So if you group them into one listing, one buyer, one parcel, I'd still list them at the same value. I would list them all together as 10 as a job lot for the same £45 that I would achieve if I sold them all individually. The buyer might have just wanted the 2 best ones, and they'll resell the others. It's fine with me. I got their money in one go. So you see, just because you group them doesn't mean you're asking any less money for them. So here's another example of grouped jewellery to show you similar items. So now you understand grouping and how pricing works, let's look at what should go in a group. You have a group of anything. You can have one or two that are totally rubbish. You can have worthless if you like. You can have a few that are average, but you've got to have one or two standout pieces that draw attention away from the others. The focus piece, the lead. This is the item or the items that is going to drag the rest through. It could be a designer piece, in which case you might have 10, 15, 20 brooches. Maybe you want to do job lots at £100 or £200. There's no limit on what your job lots can be. And you can put a couple of really nice designer pieces, even sterling silver or gold pieces. Put one really good piece or two really good pieces in to drag the rest through. When you're listing low value items as a job lot, one very, very important point is this. Do not include anything with damage. It will pull the entire lot down. Now, even if it's only considered by you a £2 item, let's say you got your star lots there, your average lot, and it could be one of the worthless pieces. If it's chipped, it will bring down the whole piece. It will draw negativity to the whole job lot because instantly they're going to think one of them's damaged. They won't associate the damage with the cheapest item, they'll just associate damage with the lot. So don't put anything damaged or imperfect in a job lot. It really does knock it. I'm going to explain slightly the mentality behind the job lotting. Let's say, for argument's sake, you got 6 perfect pieces of Wedgwood. We price them up at £25, knowing the main piece is, let's say, a tenner, and the other items are £3 each. So potentially they would just be an average of just over £4. They say £4.16 each. But the buyer in their head, they're going to round it down to £4 an item. And it just seems real cheap when they look at it like that. But in reality, as a dealer, they may be looking at it as £4 an item, but we know we would never get £4 an item for the cheap pieces, the little minor pieces. That's if they'd even sell at all. Now, some people have said that they don't do job lots because the buyers won't pay the postage. Now, let's say you're doing a job lot of Wedgwood, as we've already said, and they're a collector of Wedgwood or a dealer in Wedgwood. If you sold a single Wedgwood vase in the UK, you're talking £6. You send overseas, track mail, £20. You can send up to 5 kilos for a tenner in the UK if you buy your postage online. That equates to probably 10 or 15 vases for a tenner. And if you're going overseas, let's say you were selling 10 vases overseas, individually, it cost you nearly £200. You could probably ship them with Global Priority Parcel Force for about £60. So collector would actually have savings on the postage compared to buying items separately. So I don't see postage as a downside. If anything, I see combining postage and job lots as a good thing for potential buyers. I will agree that if somebody only wanted one thing out of the lot and they got to pay postage for an entire lot, they got to pay for the other items in the lot and have it all shipped out to them, then they just take the one thing out. Are they going to recoup the money for the losses for the rest of the stuff? I agree, that type of person is going to be bit funny with the postage, but in all honesty, if you make your lead item good enough, then it ain't going to be an issue. So that's it. Grouping is simple. It saves you one hell of a lot of time. It helps you ship the stuff that's just sitting around. Let's be honest, why chuck it on a car boot sale for 50p and a pound each to try and get 50p and a pound each, or chuck it in the charity shop when you can job lot it? A pound or £2 an item adds up to 20, 30, £40 listings in no time at all. As I said, I'll share some more photographs with you at the end of the video so that you can see some more job lots. that I'm doing. So put them together, price them just right, and let the better pieces carry the rest. It's that simple. So for more videos like this, check out my YouTube channel, or for articles, check out my website, antiquesarena.com, and you'll see what I've got going on. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all soon.